Some of you may be confused by the title of this video. What do you mean, not a sword channel? But those things are everywhere around here. And I understand why you would think that. However, there is a reason why I did not name this the sword channel, or ancient weaponry, or the slashy stabby channel. I should totally rename it to the slashy stabby channel. No, I'm not going to do that. So, sometimes I get confused or occasionally even angry comments. Doesn't happen often, but sometimes it does, from people who don't know how to deal with non-sword videos, apparently. Like a range video. Shooting, guns, what the fuck is that? We don't want to see that. We want to see swords. Or if there's a gaming videos, somebody will rarely, but it happens, sometimes complain. And it tends to confuse me a little bit at first, because of course I know what I'm doing here. I'm making this crap. So I know exactly what kind of content I have on my channel. So to me it's like, what are you talking about? I've done firearms videos since 2008. This has been standard for a very long time. But then I have to remind myself, well, yeah, of course I know what I'm doing here because I'm doing it myself. But not everybody watches every single video, and it would be kind of creepy if you did, I guess. And of course, you know, if those are the videos that you stumble upon, and that's the stuff that you're most interested in, then yeah, that's what you want to see. And something else might be confusing or even outright irritating or whatever. But really, I'd recommend to not approach this with particular expectations. Although if you've been following the channel for a while, you have certain expectations, of course, and they are most likely accurate because there are certain tendencies. But there is a reason for why this is basically, this channel is about whatever the heck I feel like at the time. And the reason for that is I'm at my best when I'm just doing things that I really feel like doing at the time, where I'm really into it, you could say. And as far as, you know, planning something ahead and organizing and you know, coming up with, okay, so I'm going to do this topic on that day and that topic on that day, and a couple of months further down the line I'm going to do this. I can't do that. And if I try to do it, it's going to turn out pretty horrible, quite frankly. Sometimes I do force myself to make a video like talking about fantasy weapons and why they're not practical. I always have to force myself to do these because they're not fun for me, they're not interesting, and I'm quite frankly sick and tired of the recurring comments on those videos like, oh, it's just fantasy, you know, how dare you criticize something that is just for entertainment, just like the videos. And yeah, I've been through all of that. Now the irony is interesting, but nevertheless, so this is just something that I started out with because I just felt like it. You know, it was interesting to do something for entertainment purposes for other people, and also self-expression to an extent. It's an artistic endeavor for the most part. For a while I even did animations. I haven't drawn in a long time, but it's something that I used to do a lot. And that was ditched because it was way too much work. Animation takes an insane amount of work, and it just, in this case, it wasn't really worth it. But, you know, ramble videos, all kinds of things. This has been with or on the channel right from the start. The first couple of videos that I uploaded back in 2007 when I started, those were indeed sword videos. Those were cutting tests, because I originally was exposed to the whole idea of, you know, cutting tests and everything through, I think it was Sword Buyer's Guide, and I saw a few videos on YouTube, and I was like, hey, I can do that too, because that's fun. So it was just started out as kind of a fun thing, and then the leather tests I did, it was one of the first things I did. Then soon after I realized, hey, there are people on YouTube who talk about all kinds of things, and why not give it a try? And it was very interesting to talk to people and the back and forth and get feedback and ideas and all of that. And you can learn a lot doing that on YouTube or anywhere really, whenever you talk to people and have discussions and all of that. So it's a lot of fun, it's interesting. There's, as I said, this is mainly an entertainment channel. That's really the main goal. Entertainment and information, so infotainment in one word. At first, I also made videos about religion and politics. That has become less and less frequent over time. You can't imagine why. It's basically, well, the rule of thumb is if you want to offend somebody, you express your opinion and then you wait. Because there will be plenty of offense and there will be plenty of pointless discussions and arguments and so on and so forth, back and forth all the time. And it's sometimes it has a benefit, but most of the time it seems like it doesn't lead anywhere because people are entrenched in their opinions anyway, especially when it comes to politics, and even more so when it comes to topics like gender equality and feminism versus MRA and this and that. That's a whole can of shit worms. Not enough to just say worms, it's shit worms. So sometimes I have moments where I see something and then I really want to talk about it because it frustrates me, or and sometimes I have this illusion that maybe I could have a bit of a positive influence on certain things in society, and then I'm like, oh, what the hell? Why am I even fooling myself into thinking that this is going to do anything? Because usually what happens when you talk about these things in public is two things. One, the people who already agree with you anyway are going to throw their support at you. You're going to be like, yup, that's the dude, and he's telling the truth because that's my opinion, and so it must be true. So there's that. You get, basically preaching to the choir. And then there's the people who will vehemently refuse and argue and but are not really ready to consider anything but their own opinion. So it's just butting heads and nothing really comes of it. So with a few exceptions, there are some fence sitters here and there, of course, and sometimes you can change someone's opinion or make somebody reconsider and maybe educate somebody, but for the most part it just, and also I'm not that good at it, so there's that. So yes, lots of blah blah. I could call this the blah blah channel because that's some of the things that are involved, but really it's not a sword channel. I think the majority of the videos are blade related, be it sword reviews or tests or talking about them, or other ancient weapons as well, and knife reviews, and I should do more of those, by the way. I haven't done them in a while. And so yes, it's pretty heavy on the blade stuff, but there's plenty of other things as well. And that's why I like to generally try to make the title obvious as to whether or not you will want to watch this. Anyway, thanks for watching and putting up with my silliness sometimes.